Welcome, one and all, to this week's episode of 10 o'clock. It is episode 431. I am joined by Xeno Gellion. Hello, Xeno.
Hello, Nazareth.
I've got this weird sense of deja vu. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's like we recorded this, a mere 30 minutes ago, and had to start again due to technical difficulties.
Good old technical difficulties. Right, so shall we go to the emblem? Do some embleming?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Said it before, I'll say it again. Yours is nice and clean, very simple, very elegant, but also very boring. So I gotta see something nice about it. It is no. Look at how smooth those lines are, though.
Like so don't get me wrong, I managed to find this just before, well, not just before, but a little bit before we started recording. And like this, there was two options to this one. There was either this circle with a cross or this circle with a star in it. And I thought I selected the circle with the star, but again, there's not many options in terms of glyphs. I've kind of run out of my surplus. Yours clearly wins.
Yeah.
We said this outside of the recording. We're pretty sure that that's not a Day of the Dead one. We could be wrong.
If it is, somebody please let me know, but I don't think it is.
But yeah, but if you want a chance to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll see this week's episode polls, the questions that we asked during the episode. And you'll see this week's emblems. Just simply pop in your in-game name, select who you think should win, and yeah, we will have a chance. So you will have a chance to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice. Make sure you get your in-game name correct. Make sure that you select the correct platform, because if it's wrong, DE won't know who it's supposed to go to. I won't know who it's supposed to go to, and no one will win for that platform. Right. Yeah. Should we go to Dojo Dusting?
Let's do it.
We got Dojo Dusting. So there's 3 points I want to talk about with Dojo Dusting. So the first one, I'm gonna change the order of this from last time.
Yeah.
The first one is I want to improve the quality of the podcast. So one thing I have noticed I thought it was just me, but turns out it's not. Looking at other content creators from around the world, they all suffer this problem where typically when you're streaming the webcam on Discord, the audio will on occasion crackle very, very lightly. Not like, really loud crackling, not really loud static or anything like that. Just very light crackling. And I want to up our game. We've been doing this for God knows how many years. We want to improve it. Now, we're going to do a demo on youtube.com/campicast, because that is the easiest place for us to test it, because that infrastructure has been set up. But the idea is that effectively when I press the record button or Nazareth presses the record button, it records in both places at the same time for the same duration, and then it will automatically upload the audio to Dropbox where Nazareth will get it, and then he can render it out into a prop, which will also mean that
my own wizardry.
Yeah, which means that not only will I sound better, I'll have isolated audio, which means that we can tweak my audio if needs be, and my video picture will look better as well, and we can also tweak that separately, and we'll have a lot more control and things like that. So, but we're going to do a demo of it first, because if people don't really give a shit, then it's a lot of effort. Like I worked out if I was to do a 2-hour recording of CampIcast, which was just my video at 480p, 6 megabits per second, it will take 22 hours to upload it on my shitty internet connection. So it might be a case of we do it, but we wait until I actually have a good internet connection. When I move to some magical fairyland where make-believe is possible. So yeah, that's the first thing. So go to youtube.com/campicast, KAMPAICAST, and there will be a demo on there. If it all goes to plan, when I do get a good internet connection, I'll take over recording 10 o'clock again, and we'll do the same thing to improve the quality of the podcast. So right, that is that point. The next point is we from next week onwards we are pausing the emblem votes. This is purely because it is too hard to find emblems anymore. We need to build up a surplus. I think the game is in a bit of a lull at the moment. People aren't playing it as much, and the relays, the Fortuna 69, I looked for it earlier, wasn't there. Ceta 69 wasn't there. So there's a bit of a quiet period in Warframe, and as such, it's how do I explain this?
It's just time to they'll be back. They'll probably be back. But you just need some time to build them back up. I blame Elden Ring. Everyone's playing Elden Ring right now, or they're waiting for Angels of the Theremin to come out. Because let's face it, there wasn't a whole huge amount of stuff to do after New War.
Personally, I think it's the Angels of the Themin thing, because we did actually ask a question last week of like how many people are playing Elden Ring, and there was actually quite a low number there. But anyway,
spoilers.
Get to the graph. It was the sixth. It was the sixth graph.
Okay.
Anyway, but then the last point out is the last Dojo Dusting cleanup shenanigans, dust bunnies. We're also no longer committing to the 6 community shoutouts and the 6 memes. Again, this is more than likely again Elden Ring or even Lost Ark. We are quite quickly running out of. We're scrolling through Twitter, we're scrolling through the meme frame subreddit, and we are hitting last week's submissions fairly quickly. This week community shoutouts was fine, but you were struggling with the memes. We're no longer going to commit to the 6, right? We'll get you what we can. We're not going to give up on that. Where the feck are you going? I have not seen this before.
It's a dead end, but I kind of like going up there.
I've never seen that before. I wish there was like you could go out that way. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, damn
it's the track that this room leads to.
Right. Anyway, so we're not committing to that. We might say like, this week we'll have 7, this week we'll have 8, this week we'll have 3 or 4. It only because of how difficult it is. We just think it's the Warframe's in a lull period, and hopefully it will pick up again. Right. Okay. So I think that's it for Dojo Dusting. We're now going to go to the war report. Good man. Right. So the first thing is the dev stream. I think it's 160. Is going to be aired on Friday, the 11th of March, which is this coming Friday, and it's supposed to talk about the Angels of the Zariman. Right? I believe there was a tweet which got a few weeks ago during February. They said that they were going to show gameplay footage of this stuff. I genuinely can't remember.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes, I hope so, because please just
give us some meat. Some meat. I've had plenty of potatoes, but now I need some meat.
Is it bad that it's like coming on 4 months since the new war came out? Like, I need my potatoes. Wait, no. Did you say meat or potatoes?
Meat. Head potatoes. Head potatoes need meat.
Yeah. Need meat. Okay. Anyway, so we need our substance. Anyway, right. Then the last thing is the changes to the creator program. I'm not going to go into as long a detail as I did last time, but basically they are turning the creator program into an invite-only system. If you want to announce to the world, hey, look, I'm creating this content, they want you to use the hashtag TennoCreate. They want you to, but like, there's no real restrictions. You can still it was a little bit of a weird post, but you can still create content even if you're not a Warframe creator. You can still, there's still a chance for you to get a glyph even if you're not a creator, so on and so forth. There's lots of little bits. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you go to warframe.com/community/creators. I'll put a link in the description below. You can see the program changes and things. Unfortunately, this new splash page has actually hidden the creators, so I'll make sure to add this to the thing. So
Le document.
Le document.
So I didn't know you could actually get a glyph in the game, even if you're not a creator.
Yeah, I think it's because you have what's the name of the things?
Clan glyphs?
Huh?
The clan glyphs?
No. Those are emblems for a start. No, I think it's because you have people like Angry Joe or Skill Up or whomever that weren't they were like honorary creators. They didn't actually create stuff for Warframe, but they still had glyphs. So I think it was a case of they separated them out because like you can still have a glyph but not be labeled as a creator. Because I think before there was some controversy because it was like, well, the glyphs are supposed to be for the creators, and you get the idea. Is you know people got their knickers in knots.
So it's not like just anyone can get a glyph in the game. You still have to be
they will offer, you know, would you
yes,
yeah. Would you like a glyph in? That's the sort of thing they'll do. Right. That is it for the war report. That was it. Now we're going to move on to the topics. Cool. So the first topic we have is the backstories for the different warframes. Are they really the stories of the operators?
Yeah.
And the second one is for people who have played most, if not all, warframes. Which is one you will never play again? Never want to play again. Okay, good.
Right.
So the first topic. So right. So the backstories for the different warframes, are they really the stories of their operators? Mirage dying in a sentient attack and leaving silly poems in her wake. Lavos, the brutal prison guard turned alchemist. Protea, given to Parvos Granum as a gift. In all these stories, we hear, whether through quests or the Levarium, these characters are referred to with the names of warframes. Since we know from the second dream that all active warframes, with the exception of rogue warframes like Umbra, are controlled by Zariman children. Why don't they just put Tenno there? I don't understand. Does that mean all the stories were actually experienced by operators? Was it really a kid who wrote Mirage's poems and beat prisoners in the Arkan prison? So first, I don't actually know what Lavos's backstory is. I've never actually.
Oh yeah. His Levarian talks about him being a prison guard, and doing some pretty nasty things. But eventually, he rebelled against the Orcan, and killed the Orcan that was in charge of the prison cell. A prison killed. So he was a good guy in the end. But he did do a lot of some nasty things.
Yeah.
And we know that Inaros was involved in kidnapping children before he rebelled against the Orcan.
Was he involved?
I'm
thought
pretty sure he
stopped it. I thought he just stopped it.
He might have.
Thought the Orcan
might have just stopped.
Because you had the narrative was like the sky people would come and abduct the children. Right?
True.
Then he just turned up and like nope. Yeah?
It would make sense that he was involved in it, though. But anyway, regardless of that, I was going to say something, and I have something. Do you have anything else to say about it? Because I'll try to remember what I was talking about. I was going to say.
Just have the conversation loosey-goosey, man. You don't have to force yourself.
So, last time I said that I thought they might have actually been kind of fused to their warframes because of, the War Within, where we're more actively connected to it. But now I think it's very possible that the Warframes. So you brought up the point that the Warframes might have been the original ones, might have been one of a kind before like the mass production.
Yeah.
So when they lost a Warframe, it might have actually been like a real tragedy.
So to help the conversation along, right?
Yeah.
In our original discussion, I think it's fun. It's important to have the fundamental of what we were talking about. Your original belief was that the Warframes are effectively the organic mechs that the spiritual forms of the Tenno would pilot.
Right.
I, however, talked you out of this and said, like, no, I personally believe that the Warframes are glorified telephones, and that when you speak into your telephone, being the cradle or the crib or whatever you want to call it on your Lasette, you can travel through the air, through the wires, whatever you want to call, and you can come out as audio as at the other end of the telephone, or you can come out of your Warframe as the receiver, right?
Yeah.
Which is why your Warframe shuts down, because you're no longer piloting it. And I think that, you know, if you're talking about things like lag and stuff, like, you know, we have a conversation, we can notice there's like a good half a second lag between you and I, and we're like on other sides of the planet.
Yeah.
But with Warframe, we don't have that. And, you know, especially across Cosmos, right? You know, the fucking orbiters orbiting the planet, right? The Lasette is, sorry. You know, so in theory, there should be a good delay between Warframe actions and Tenno input. So
But if
Tenno
you're
input,
using the Void,
yeah, bullshit void powers, you know, you could do anything. And it's like, it's instant. It happened before it was done. You know. So that, I think, is the crux. So I had convinced you that realistically the Warframes were just the marionettes.
right?
And
I remember what I was going to add. So
yeah,
they talk about like how Protea was given as a gift, and Lavos was under the command of an Orcan in a prison. So it could be that not only was the Warframe gifted to Parvos, but a Zeramin child, a Tenno, in a somatic pod or whatever, was also gifted to him, and so the Tenno had to be, you know, work for him no matter what until they rebelled.
There is another side to this. Well, I mean, Parvos never rebelled against. Sorry, Protea never rebelled against Parvos, did it?
Right. Yeah.
We had to, you know. But there's another side to this. We've also got Harrow. So Rel shed his mortal form and permanently fused to Harrow.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that could be a way of looking at it. So all the
That's
other,
actually, yeah, I didn't even think of that. Jeez.
But the point is that Rel was still recognized as Rel, not Mirage, or, you know, he wasn't recognized as Harrow. He was recognized as Rel still. Yeah. But all the narratives, you know, it shows that Rel and Harrow are, sorry, Mirage, Inairos, Nova, all of these Warframes, they're recognized by name, which makes me think that these are Warframes that weren't bound to operate pre the betrayal, right? And these are Warframes that just continue to exist independent post the betrayal, because they weren't being influenced by Orokin going like, I'm in your head and I'm telling you to kill your son.
Right.
You know, it's
so it's like the Rhino Prime Codex, but instead of going mad, they were actually like fine and doing their job.
Well, yeah, because like they were free to do whatever they want. You know, they didn't have someone whispering in their mental ear hole trying to convince them to do stuff. They could, you know, I mean, I think part of the problem is that these plots were written fucking years ago. I mean, like, Mirage, what was 2014? Right?
Yeah. I still, so this kind of dovetails to last week's episode, but I think they had a general idea of where they wanted, like, I think they probably knew that they were kids piloting the Warframes.
I
But beyond that, I don't know how much they had planned out. So
I think you're right, but I think
based on the second
it's
dream, it kind of seems like the Warframes had some kind of independence because ours snaps the war out of itself without us connected to it.
yeah.
So maybe they planned for that and then dropped it at some point.
Yeah, it's just like it's difficult to know the direction that they're going in because, like, you know, look at Eva Unit 1. Eva Unit 1 from Evangelion, it starts doing its own thing,
Yeah.
right? You know, when I don't know if Shinji's in it, but he can't control it. Like, it's just gone completely. You know, it's just ignored him and
Yeah, he's
doing
like
whatever the fuck
kind
it
of
wants.
KO'd because from the pain and stuff. Yeah, and it just
Yeah.
starts going berserk.
You know, there's all sorts of weird and wonderful shit like that, and I feel that mental faculty still exists within the Warframes,
Yeah,
even though they are, and this is one thing that I really felt was important with the previous conversation was like Limbo, Mirage, so on and so forth, like all these quest driven Warframes, they are granted by, so no, they existed as singulars and we have duplicated them. Like the best example really is Umbra. What?
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, isn't there something in the Avara Lavarian about there being like they made a bunch of different versions of Avara and only one of them was able to actually survive the trials? Am I thinking of something different?
You don't, no. I know what you're talking about. No, we don't know who those other Warframes were.
Okay, all right.
All we know is that Avara survived.
But were they controlled by Tenno? Were all of them controlled by Tenno, or were they being tested before they were bonded to a Tenno?
Well, I thought it was gladiatorial combat. I thought this was post the old war again. I thought they were captured, and you know there were.
I don't think so. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, but again, so my point was with as proven by Umbra. So with Umbra at the start of the sacrifice, Ballast turns up and is like blah 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 blah. I'm Ballast, blah 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 blah. Oh look, Natar, and Natar blows up Umbra. So this is when we go to the scene of the crime and we can see like bits of Umbra all over the place. And we scan in Umbra, we go back to our foundry, we rebuild Umbra, and Umbra still has its memories and everything's still intact. We don't create a blank version of Umbra, which I think the majority of the Warframes we have are blanks. We create a still Angie, fully emotive Umbra.
Yeah,
and,
he big Angie boy.
He big Angie boy, which makes me think that the other Warframes were created off of. Have you ever seen the movie The Sixth Day? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh gosh, that's the one with the clones that die after. Yes, yeah, I vaguely remember it. I think I've seen it once.
So, in order to speed up the cloning process, they have blanks. Yeah. They have blank humans, and that was like this is what I think Warframes are based on. So, like, all the Warframes we have encountered, they are based on blank people that have no memories or traumas or anything like that. And as a result, they're able to control the Warframes better. But when the Orokin Empire disappeared, basically they were allowed to do whatever the fuck they wanted, and they started exploring, and you know, you get the idea. That is a theory. That is entirely my own headcanon, and there could be things out there that disprove it. But I think, again, that's why Umbra still has its autonomy, because it was a person. It was made off of a person, and we haven't actually encountered any of the proto-frames, like the first series of generation of Warframes that rebelled / committed suicide / I can't remember what the fuck they did in the end.
Yeah.
So these are all my theories. These might not line up with anyone else's. The one thing I do feel that DE need to get better at doing is when they tell their narratives, if your operator is there or not, it should be easier to understand. Because you know the Apostasy prologue? It took me forever to work this out. Apostasy prologue, when Ballas is walking into Lotus's chamber,
yes,
you go in there. The first thing you do is you start talking to the Lotus, right? And then the Lotus seems to ignore you. It took me forever to realize, wait a second, you're not actually fucking there. Even though the entire experience of, you know, going to Lua, going to the reservoir, going inside her chamber, you weren't there when fucking Ballas turned up.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a memory.
You are...
I think it's, yeah, I think it's supposed to be Natah's memory. Or Lotus's memory.
I'm not entirely sure, right? Because you are experiencing it from your point of view, right? It's sort of like the whole eternalism kind of thing. You are experiencing time differently. So you are experiencing this event differently from everyone else. But I hated the fact that even though it looked like you were there, right, there was no tell visually or audibly that you weren't fucking there. There weren't any like black bars at the top and bottom of the screen. There wasn't any wavy effect over you. There wasn't any weird echo going. There was no tell at all that you weren't actually there experiencing it in real time. And this is something that a good storyteller, like, you know, needs to do. Like, hell, whenever I've done anything, I want to do a flashback, I mute the colors and I put bars at the top and bottom. I change the, you know, because it's just like, this is a different time when this thing happened, right?
So I think you could have a really good reason to trick the viewer into thinking that it's not a flashback, or the reader or whatever. But it'd have to be a really good reason, like a narrative reason, to and make it clear afterwards at the end that you know, this, you weren't here when this happened. This is a memory. But if, you know, because that impact of thinking that you're talking to Lotus and then having Ballas come up, that is like a really good impact. But but then you need to realize that there needs to be something after that to make you realize you weren't there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, maybe you should fade away.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe, you know, hell, here's a big one. Ballas just walks right fucking through you.
There you go.
Right? That's the biggest tell you are not there. Right? You walk through someone walks through you. Biggest tell in any sort of narrative, you're not there. But regardless, I think, so personally, I think these Warframes did do these things. They did do these events. And
the Warframe died, but the Tenno didn't necessarily, like, if there was a Tenno, they didn't necessarily.
Yeah, if there was. Yeah. But again, I mean, hell, there's no evidence, you know, that there are any other Tenno.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they could have all died during the old war, and you're the only one. We'll never fucking know. Anyway.
Yeah, because, I mean, when Stalker came to wake us up, how come he didn't just kill all the other Tenno and all the other reservoirs if they were alive?
I know. Oh, dude, I fucking know, man. Like, yeah, so it's, I think that there's limits within the narrative, and yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So we move on to the replies?
Yeah, let's move on to the replies. At least we're recording now. That's the important part.
True. Since no operators are named except Rel, is it plausible that our operator could be the Saint of Ultra or the Scion of the Burning Winds? I don't remember who the Scion of the Burning Winds is. Saint of Ultra.
No,
that's Gauss, isn't it?
I think the Scion of Burning Winds is Eniros.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
I think, but no. You see, this is again. This is part of the problem. We have no concept of time either, right?
Yeah.
We suffer from The Simpsons or Family Guy, where Bart's been 10 for the last 40 years, and Stewie's been 2 for the last 20 years. Yeah. Right? Like, there's no concept of time. We do not understand how much time has passed. And now we have the ability to choose our appearance. You know, what kind of time skips are we talking about? So here's a question for you, right? Say there's 3 to 5 years between the operator and the drifter, right?
Which seems a bit
really,
short, but sure, yeah, I'll take it.
But you really think the drifter's that much older than the operator?
Yeah, 5 years is probably pretty good, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so let's say it's 5 years, right? So the whole events of the new war, right? Sorry, not the new war, the old war, and the betrayal and all of that stuff happened within a 5-year period, right? How the fuck did the warframes calcify in 5 years?
Well,
right?
so it may be that when the operators are in the somatic chamber, they don't age.
Right. Then how old is the drifter?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right? And then there's the whole point of like, oh yeah,
drifter was in the void, we don't really know how long they've been there or how people react to being in the void, or, you know.
But like, you know, and then there's the attitude of, well, fucky wucky timey wimey bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, it doesn't answer any questions because we don't know how long any of these events like happened, how long ago they are. I mean, hell, Alad V remembers who we are. Was Alad V there during the betrayal? I don't know.
I mean, Hunhow does call him Orokin.
Yeah. But that could just be ignorance. He could call everyone Orokin. Anyway, true. So it's too hard to tell.
Yeah. Right. So Harrow's backstory is extra tragic, dark, and weird when you think about it. When you play Harrow, you are basically playing 2 operators and a frame, rather than just an operator and a frame. Rel is probably why... That's not true, because Rel is dead.
Yeah.
Rel is probably why Harrow is such a strange support frame, being able to heal his teammates and be a good team player, what Rel wanted to do so bad on the Zeraman, and also being able to lash out and cause a crap ton of pain and agony. Frickin' tragic.
Disagree with that.
There is something to be said about the affinity between the operator and the Warframe. Because I believe is it Ember Prime, where one of the Zeraman kids accidentally burns the person, the not Margulis, but I don't think they burned them with Ember. I think they burned them with their void magic. And you've got I mean, even with Umbra, you've got a soldier who was turned into a soldier. And Rel, if this is true, then Rel would have an affinity for Harrow's, you know, want to help, but also his pain and anger. But I disagree with him about playing 2 operators, because Rel is definitely dead. He's 100%.
I mean, that was the whole point. We put him to rest because he was going crazy after, you know, holding back the man in the wall for so long. I mean, again, that's something that doesn't make a great deal of sense either. It's the fact that, you know, how did Rel hold back the man in the wall when there's a giant gaping fucking door at the heart of Deimos? Oh, I need to stop thinking about the plot of this game. No more plot, just gameplay, please. Oh God, just gameplay.
So somebody else disagrees with the op. Not necessarily. Warframes were originally living humans. Only after being mutated by the Helmet strain, they became super powerful, but lost their sanity. So those stories can be from the time they were human, like Inaro, but it can also be from the time they were insane rogue Warframes, like Grendel. Of course, most people don't know that Warframes were actually only vehicles operated by distant, void-empowered kids, so these people believe Warframes to be the creatures capable of their own deeds and write stories about them with that consideration. Yeah, but in the Mirage one, you've got Lotus having memories about the death of Mirage and you know, being upset and sad and, you know, all that stuff. And calls it by name, Mirage. So some of the other ones, some of the stuff in the Laverian, yeah, sure, I can see that. But no, I some of the other stuff, like the codex entries and stuff, those are supposed to be from like an actual Orokin source, aren't they?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I just don't know.
Failing at my Riven openings. Oh, such good footage. Yeah, it's true that most people don't know or didn't know that the Warframes were powered by children, but people like Lotus definitely. Yeah.
Well,
I also don't necessarily know that it can be from the time they were human, because they're definitely presented as Warframes in everything.
So I want to go through this again. Not necessarily. Warframes were originally living humans or subhuman. I like to refer to all the human descendants as subhuman because they are not human anymore. They haven't been human for bloody forever. I don't count the Osterons or the Solarians as human either, right? They are Osteron Solarians. Yeah, everyone is their unique subspecies of human. Only after being mutated by the Helmet strain, they became super powerful, but lost their sanity. I don't remember them losing their sanity. I thought they lost their sanity because of the influences from the Orokin. The Orokin giving them their horrible nightmares.
We only really have the two examples that I know of for sure, and that is Umbra and Rhino.
Well, I mean, we don't know what Rhino went through.
True. Yeah.
But
all we know is that he went insane at some point.
So it was them reliving their horrible memories that and I think that's when so those stories can be formed those stories can be from the time where humans like Nyros can also be from the time those
stories can be from the time they were human, like Inaros, but can also be from the time they were insane rogue warframe, like Grendel. I don't remember Grendel being an insane rogue warframe. I remember him working with Gauss to bring down the Orokin and free people.
Really?
Yeah.
Gauss's Laverian is that. Like, he was, he was fighting, God, I can't remember who it was.
Grendel may not have a Laverian, does he? I don't remember.
I think he does. I just don't know what it is. I've never actually.
But if he was fighting with Gauss, then he wouldn't be.
No,
insane.
I don't remember him fighting with Gauss. Gauss was an independent Laverian entry.
No, they were definitely working together.
That must be purely in Grendel's because it wasn't in Gauss's.
Okay. Yeah. The Saint of Ultra, I believe, was when they worked together. Because remember how DE made a big point about Grendel and Gauss being best buds?
No.
Oh yeah, that was when they were talking about them coming out.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever had an insane period.
But at the same time, I don't think that these stories were when they were human. Because how would you identify? That's I mean, unless you have record of them going through the experience, the transformation, like, how would you know that this Nyros,
random Dax?
How would you know that Ordis used to be the assassin Orden Karis?
Yep.
Right? The only way to know that is by the history proving it. Yeah?
Yeah,
so,
from Samaris's memory fragments. Not Samaris, Ordis's.
Yeah. So unless you actually have that proof somewhere, you can't expect that.
Yeah.
And then more to it. Of course, most people don't know that Warframes are actually only vehicles operated by distant void empowered children. So these people believe Warframes to be creatures capable of their own deeds and write stories about them. Okay, so that I can get behind, like the whole idea that if it is an operator, the witnesses aren't gonna know that the Warframe was powered by. But it's not like the Warframes have.
That only works for for like the Laverian entries, I think, or maybe isn't there one about Cora that's not a Laverian? That might also be people talking about her.
But no. but also the quests. Like again, Aniros's quest where Barrow is like, "Oh, I like Aniros," but again, it's not like the Warframes have tattooed on the side of their head what their sodding name is legibly. I'm pretty sure like Excalibur does, but it's tiny Orokin script. You're not gonna fucking see it.
Yeah.
With a bloody Warframe that's going like 1 trillion miles an hour. So stand here very, very still while I take note of your name. Tattooed on the side of your head. But you get my point though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But again, it also doesn't work for stuff like Mirage, where we clearly have Lotus doing the dialogue.
Yeah, that's true. Right, should we do the last one?
Yes. I'm still wondering about Gara, who willingly volunteered to be turned into a Warframe. The lore says all Warframes/humans lost their mind in the process of transformation. But they call her the Unbroken Queen. That's possible. Didn't she just volunteer to be to shed her humanity, or shed her Tenno form, her corporeal form, and join with Gara? I don't remember. I've never actually gotten all the Glassfish.
I don't know what her narrative is at all. I thought the Glassfish was the story of the no, that's the courier. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I don't know what her plot is.
If that is the case, it could be that her unique connection with the Unum kept her from going insane. If it's true that all Warframes go insane. Yes, yeah.
Meat tower.
If it's true that in fact all Warframes go insane, I would say that's the best reason she wouldn't.
I thought that the first generation of Warframes were given maintained their free will, but they only found that they could. No shit, I can't remember.
I think all we know for sure is Umbra had free will.
No, he didn't. He was going through the trauma all the time. Right?
Yes, but he still had the ability to act based on that. Like,
but
it wasn't just a doll.
I think the earlier versions, again, I can't remember. The earlier versions didn't have the trauma. They just had the free will, which is why they were rebellious. I can't remember, dude. It's so long since
I think this says a lot about how scattered the lore is in Warframe and how unclear some of it is.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'd like, all the Warframes to have their Laverian entries, even if they've had their
Codex or their quest.
All their quests. Yeah. Just put it in the fucking Laverian. And again, not to be overly critical, a system that's just been abandoned. What was the last Laverian we had?
Yep. And I mean, we did have a quest. Yeah, we did have a quest for Sevagoth, but what about... Oh, no, we did have one for Lavos. We did have a Laverian for Lavos. Who came out after Sevagoth? Was it Caliban?
Ureli.
Oh,
sorry. No. Did Ureli come out of... Yeah, I think Ureli was after Sevagoth.
Okay, so she technically got lore. Technically.
I just want it in one place. Can we please just have it in one place?
Yeah.
Right? It's almost as bad as going to the wiki, going to YouTube and the forums and stuff to find out it's one place.
Yep.
We have a library for a reason. Right, okay.
Put it in Samaras' chamber. He's a lore keeper,
Yeah, put an extension on Samaras' chamber.
Yeah. Bolt it on there, it'll be fine.
I'm just happy. Just put it in the Laverian.
Yeah.
Right.
So we move on to topic 2?
Yeah, let's
anything else to add?
Right. Nah, not really. Okay. So, for people that who haven't played, for people who have played most, if not all, so I keep forgetting that's supposed to be an if, Warframes, which is one you never want to play again? What Warframe would you never want to play again? Personally, mine is Oberon. I know he's decent, but Lord, he's not. Oh my god! But Lord, he's just not interesting enough in his gameplay to me. I absolutely love his looks and skin, but I can't bring myself to play him. So it was rough English. Okay, okay, right, okay. You are more of a master of Warframes than I am. Personally, I don't like Warframes that are damage dealers based on their abilities. Right?
Yeah.
I like more crowd control, more what's called support, more stuff like that for Warframes, right? I could go through this list and say yes or no to pretty much all of these Warframes. We have the whole list in front of us.
I'm really struggling with this one because it used to be the case that there were some I wouldn't play, but now I think it's like there are some I don't play. But if somebody showed me a really good build that I could get behind that would be relatively easy to use, I'd do it. Yeah. I think something like Chroma I have difficulty with because if you really want to get the most out of his Vex armor, you need to be constantly refreshing it before it runs out. And I'm too busy focusing on other things to pay attention to the timer on that. So he's one I don't really use. But I wouldn't say I'd never play him.
Well, I mean, like, Warframes that you would avoid using sort of thing, or just like if you had alternatives, I mean, I don't know if this would be particularly interesting. I'd love to just jump through the Warframes, yes or no, and why. So, for example, Ash, no, because his abilities are just damage dealing.
He does have stealth, but it's not. They're better stealth frames.
Atlas, yes, mostly because of his I can't be knocked down when my feet are on the floor.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Right. Banshee, yes, crowd control.
I know that there are actually good advantages to Banshee, but I'm generally a no on her. I just don't like the playstyle for the
part. Fair. Baruch, I want to say no because very similar to the playstyle.
He's got really good crowd control.
Does he?
Yeah, he can put if you build for range, he can put a lot of stuff to sleep at once with his
But then you wake it up when he smacks it.
Oh sure, but I mean you still get like a surprise attack in.
There we go. Button fiddly. Right?
Fair.
Yeah. Caliban, I don't know enough.
Same. Yeah.
Chroma, button fiddly because of all the timers. Ember, I like, yes.
Oh yeah.
Equinox, yes, but button fiddly. I just can't remember her well enough.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Excalibur,
yes, but
yes for the crowd control.
But also, he's kind of terrible. Like I love him, but he's
not that great.
He's not great anymore. I mean, his Exalted Blade still does a lot of damage, but a lot of his crowd control can be done better.
Frost. Yes, but there are better versions.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's just like better alternatives.
Yeah.
Like Boobin. Gara, I would if I understood how she worked. Like, put up the fields. I just like,
I'd say no because she's button fiddly if you really want to get the most out of her.
Garuda, yes, but I had to have Sliveruto explain to me how the fuck she works.
I haven't played her in a long time, but yes, Garuda's, I'd do her.
Yeah.
Gauss, that sounds wrong. No. I would play her.
Yeah, I know. We know what you mean. Gauss, no. Mostly damage dealing, button fiddly, no.
I'd play him. Thermal Sunder's great.
Grendel, I haven't played enough.
I'm a no on him. I've played him, and he's all right, but just not my style.
Yeah. Harrow, no. Very fucking God.
Button fiddly.
No, it's not that. He is useless early game because everything dies before you can do anything.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, he can't do anything when everything's fucking dead.
Kind of a niche frame for Eidolon hunts.
Yeah. Oh, God. Don't bloody dare bring a Harrow when bloody bring an Oberon. Fucking murder you. Right. Hildren, I have a similar problem. Like, it's just like her abilities feel like they would be amazing later on. But like gun go boom.
So somebody gave me a build for her that's Steel Path capable.
Yeah.
And taking that through earlier game, you can just nuke everything.
Yeah, but I can nuke everything with the Toncore as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Her abilities remind me a lot of old Ember's World on Fire in lower levels. So you don't even have to shoot. You don't even... No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I used to not play her a lot, but now I actually do play her quite a bit, so...
Maybe I'll have to get you to show me. Hydroid. Yes, after the rework.
Only if I'm farming on Uranus to help a new player get polymer and stuff. No. Otherwise, no.
Aniros. Not my cup of tea, but I get him.
I used to play him a lot because, tank.
Yeah.
Now, not so much, but I still bring him to some places. Like, I used to bring him to Disruption. I've kind of switched over to Atlas, but I used to, that sort of thing.
Avara,
a big tank. So, yeah.
Avara, yes.
Definitely.
Korra, no.
Sometimes, but not often.
Lavos, fuck no.
No.
I'm sorry.
I know that there are builds for him that are really good. I don't want to use them.
No, like, sorry, fucking no to cooldowns. Just couldn't, right. Limbo, yes.
Yeah.
Low-key, yes, but I'm not allowed because people keep on complaining. Mag, I miss old Mag. I miss old Mag when she would just strip off shields.
Yeah.
She was so good then. Mesa, no.
Oh, yes. Very much yes on Mesa.
She's a fucking... Oh, look at me. I turn into a turret. I'm shooting everything. She's
got a little bit of crowd control with the shooting gallery that
disarms... with everything being dead.
Well, that too. But the shooting gallery disarms enemies, so,
it's just not interesting.
Yeah.
Mirage.
Yes.
No.
I don't use her enough, but I would... I mean, I play other frames, but I would play her if I needed to.
Necros, yes, but that's for the farming of stuff.
Yeah.
More than anything else. Neja, yes.
Yeah.
I just like his abilities, his whole general kit.
This force kind of a nice crowd control too,
Yeah. Nidus, yes, but I can't fucking remember how to play him. Like, when he first came out, I put a lot of effort into learning how to play Nidus. Yep. And now I'm just like,
So, one of the really nice things about Nidus is that they recently changed it. So, if you cast your maggot, and other players kill the stuff inside of it, you still get the mutation stacks. So, you no longer have to kill stuff on your own.
See, that was the problem. I was just like, how recent was that?
It was a couple of patches ago. I think it was right before New War.
Right, but it was after Nidus Prime. Yes.
It might have been in the same time. I'm not sure.
Okay. Nova, yes. Right?
I do have a Slova and a Speedva build, and I will bring them to, like, appropriate places, but I don't generally play her.
It's her null star that does the damage reduction is the yes.
Yeah,
right?
That's
if it wasn't for if she didn't have that, then it'd be an instant no. Also the fact that enemies that die from molecular prime resupply her null star. I can't remember what that augment is. It's something along those lines. Yeah, again, that. Nyx. I've never gotten behind Nyx.
I bring Nyx to Razorback fights because she can just take over the bursas and make them do silly amounts of damage.
Right.
But
Right.
otherwise, none.
I mean, Oberon, obviously.
Not as much as I used to, but I do have some builds for him.
But I mean, I just love his healing. Like, it's like, oh yeah. It's like his healing is just so solid. And like, anyway. Octavia. Sorry, too fiddly. I'm just like,
Same.
I can't bounce in time. I can't bounce. Protea. No, it just like her button fiddly.
I'm a yes on Protea.
Okay. Revenant. No, button fiddly.
Revenant, yes, because his Mesmer skin makes him basically immortal.
Sure. Do you know what else makes you immortal?
Rhino.
Fuck tons of healing. Yeah. Fuck tons of healing. You heal more than you take damage. Yeah. Anyway, Rhino, I'd probably say yes, but it's along the same lines, like the same vein as Atlas and you know.
Rhino used to be a big crutch for me, but not so much anymore.
Right. Saren, right? Okay, I know how to play Saren, right? I learned how to play Saren after the whole fucking boom of Saren's rework, right? Or rework. No, so button fiddly.
No, I'm fine with Saren.
Too button fiddly for me. Sevagoth, I haven't got a fucking clue how to play Sevagoth.
Sevagoth's alright, but he's not really my style.
Titania.
Yes.
No.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. Only for certain missions though. Like I'll use her for the Ayatan hunt, obviously. I'll take her to Lephantis. I'll take her to Plaguestar. You know, stuff where you got a lot of single point damage, or you need to fly really fast. I know she's really good in other situations, especially her buffs, but the buffs are a little too fiddly for me.
Yeah. Trinity, I got Oberon. I mean, don't get me wrong. I respect Trinity. I acknowledge Trinity's abilities. She used to came from like a godly place, and she's been brought down a peg many times. She's good. Don't get me wrong, but you know, there's alternative healing options, and yeah,
she's my go-to for Lich content now because she can strip armor and is basically immortal, and you know.
Oberon can strip armor.
Yeah,
Oberon can strip 100% armor in 2 reckonings.
Wow.
Yeah, because his reckoning does 70 on hollowed ground does 75% armor strip of maximum armor, right? Not current armor, maximum armor. So in 2 smashes, all armor's gone, unless they change that, right? Valkyria, I used to know how to play. I don't remember anymore. Say yes, I'll play her.
I would, but I also think she's just kind of boring.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. Booban, yes.
Yeah.
Vault, no, because just damage dealer, boring.
He used to be my go-to for fissure missions because he goes zoom. But now I do other stuff.
Gauss goes zoom.
Yeah. So does Wisp. I'll bring Wisp now. For a lot of it.
Yeah. Wisp, just 100% yes.
Yeah.
Again, a good alternative for healing. Wukong, I don't know since the rework. I've not touched him.
Wukong's great. I would play him willingly.
Zaku, last time I tried to play Zaku, I didn't like his kit because it was very damage dealer, button fiddly focused.
Yeah. Same here. He's good if you're good at button fiddly. Not for me.
I want to shoot my gun.
Yeah.
You really? I've not played really.
She's all right. I hate Marilena, but most people just take her Aqua Blades and put it on other stuff because Aqua Blades are OP.
Oh, who called that out? I mean, no. So World on Firewall. And then Zephyr. Now I know I do like Zephyr, but I haven't played her in ages and I can't remember how to play her.
Yeah, Thalian has gotten it into my head enough that she's an amazing frame now. But I don't know. I can't get into her for some reason.
Yeah, fair. Right, that is ours. Out of that list, is which one would you stay away from the most?
Oh,
because there's a lot there. Which one would you like? On pain of death, would you rather take the bullet than play that Warframe?
probably Ash, just because he's so boring. I mean, Chroma's probably my least favorite because of how fiddly he is. But Ash is just... I'd still rather play Chroma in some content. And I never take Ash to anything. I mean, I even tried to build him for armor stripping at one point, and it's just... It's just not fun.
I've got to say, like, for me, it was a toss-up between Lavos and Harrow, but it's got to be Harrow because, like, I've done missions with Harrow, quote-unquote, recently, and my fucking god, like, I can't do anything because everyone else has murdered everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, no, Harrow's not in a good place right now. But, I mean, it's just the state of play.
Yep.
You know, we do gajillions of damage, but you know,
with AoE weapons.
Right. Should we go through the list?
So the
replies.
For me, it would be Oberon, Nyx, Banshee, Inaros, Grendel, Hydroid, and Baruch. They're all either too weak, boring, needlessly complicated / tedious, or to use, or all of the above. Yeah, I think.
Wait. Out of that list, who is needlessly complicated?
Banshee to some extent, maybe.
Fuck off, Banshee. Fuck off, Banshee. You press 2 and 4. That's it.
Grendel, maybe, because when you swallow people, you have to then choose your buff. Baruch's all right. I think he goes under the 2 week sort of thing.
2 week or boring, sure. I wouldn't say any of those are needlessly complicated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Atlas, Chroma, Frost, Limbo, Nova, Nyx, Protea, Revenant, Rhino, Wukong. I really dislike stationary gameplay, so a lot of these frames commonly feel like kind of like a press and forget frame, or their kits just are not enjoyable for me to use / aren't as useful now as they were in.
How the fuck is Nova stationary?
If you're doing defenses, but that's true of everyone. All defenses are basically stationary.
Yeah, Revenant I didn't think was particularly stationary. Neither Rhino.
It could also be that
or
some of them are stationary, and some of them are, or their kits are not just enjoyable. So it may be that Nova falls under their kits are not just enjoyable.
Right. Sorry, I got fixated on the station.
So did I. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Although
I wouldn't even say like Atlas and Rhino are stationary, but they are press and forget. You pop your 4, or I don't even know if Atlas, aside from his rumblers, does he really have anything that's, or his wall, I guess. You put up his wall on an objective.
I've said for the longest time, I really think that Nova needs her 2 and a 3 redone. Especially her 2. Fucking wait, is that wormhole? Is that no? That's anti-mana drop. Her 3, like her wormhole is just like.
They did fix it a little bit. What is it? A couple years ago. So it actually activates client side rather than host side.
What's that going to do with the price of fish?
Well, if it was host side, it would not necessarily be in the place you wanted it to be in.
Yeah, but the problem is that the bloody ability is still just a portal, right? And the only good part of Wormhole is fucking putting the escort hack drones through it. That's the only you can shoot through it.
You can shoot through it now too, I believe, but the enemies have to be on the other side of it.
That's great. Except for, do you know what the problem with that is? I got this giant fucking swirly Doctor Who crap in front of me. I can't fucking see anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if I could portal, like, you know how in Portal where you could see through the portals.
Yeah, yeah.
If you could do that, sure, zero problem. But you fucking can't.
Couldn't they use the Railjack technology to do that?
Yeah.
Because yeah. Ooh,
yeah,
they should do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
They could also do that for the sabotage missions as well. You know, the Stargates. Oh my god, I'd love it if they did that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you get really close to them, you can kind of see the other side, but it's just a static image.
Yeah. Anyway, next.
Nova, just because I don't know how to use her, and at this point I'm afraid to ask. Aww. Her, Ash, and Banshee, but mainly Nova. Nova's really not that hard.
Yeah, just get the augment that replenishes Null Star. Build for
there are a couple of really good builds out there. One of them is Speedva, which I think is high strength, low duration. No, low strength, high duration. Which it makes the enemies just speed up massively. And then the other one is high strength, low duration, and it makes them slow down to a crawl. So if you want some crowd control, that's a really good one.
I don't think it's low duration.
You might be right. Because
I think it's low range or low power efficiency.
Something. Just look up Speedva and Slova, you'll find them.
Yeah, the duration is what keeps them slow and expanding the bubble. The bubble isn't on range; it's on duration. Anyway, next.
Loki. Frame doesn't bring anything unique to the table, and I have more fun playing the better options for what he does bring. Only like one of his skins look good, but a lot of people seem to love him, even though the game has evolved past him. Not even the fastest at spy missions. Not even the fastest at spy missions, which is what all the people who love him claim.
No, fuck that noise. I'm sorry, right? If you're not doing radial disarm, I'm sorry, you do not know how to play Loki, right? Loki has never, ever had a rework, nor has he ever needed a rework, because radial disarm is just so fucking powerful. I am floored. I am flummoxed by this statement.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, next. Loki is a little on the boring side, but the rest of that is just wrong.
Well, he's entirely utility based.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. A lot of people are shitting on Oberon, but I found his support healing build to be useful. Not particularly interesting, but it gets teams through arbitrations without anybody ever dying. I haven't had a chance to use it to support Steel Path yet, but I'm fairly confident it would work. Just used Ack and Brunt. Okay, sure. I would recommend what's the name of it? Sylvan Aegis instead, especially Sylvan Aegis Prime. But sure, whatever. Electromagnetic shielding, a bunch of health and armor mods, and use abilities to heal AoE or range. No more searching for red dots to save somebody. Valkyrie is about useless.
No, I feel that's you're not playing Valkyrie right.
Yeah, I mean, she's boring, but she's not useless.
Yeah.
I kind of get what he's saying about Oberon being a little on the less interesting side with his healing. But if you really want to get the most out of it, you've got to get people to go into your Hollow Ground so that they get the armor buff too. So it's
I couldn't give a fuck about other people. No. See, right? It's this, right? Okay. I am putting a marker on the floor. I cast Hollow Ground. I cast Renewal. I fuck off. If you decide not to come pick up Iron Renewal, that's on you. Yeah. I couldn't give a fuck, right? I am not fucking chasing you to give you the armor buff.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe a touch on the easy side, but the quote unquote boring side. But yeah, he's totally right about him getting the team through, stuff. Yeah. Right. And the last one, this might be a hot take, but I hate Chroma, He is the antithesis to what I personally want in a Warframe. His 1 is dog shit and useless. His 2 is an ability that you want up all the time, but can't be recast, so you have to keep... No, it can. Can't it be recast? Maybe it can't. The timer on it. His 3 is a set and forget ability that can be recast. No, his 3 is not a set and forget ability. You need to constantly recast it to get the best out of it. Otherwise, you lose the stacks you've already got. Yeah. Set and forget ability that can be recast but has nothing fun about it. Just play the game and take damage, whoop-de-doo. And his 4 is a stationary weak turret that is also shit. Not wrong about the 1 and the 3, or the 4. Possibly wrong about the 2 and the 3, because those work in concert.
In concert?
Yeah, they work together.
Do you mean in tandem?
No, I mean in concert. They work together.
What are you trying to...
One of them is the string instrument, and one of them is the percussion. And they work together in concert. You've never heard that term before?
No, I've never... Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm Googling this. No, I'm fucking Googling this. Working in concert.
Oh, hi, Solaire. My cat has decided.
Acting jointly... we must take action in concert with our European partners.
Yeah, see?
I've never heard that. But I mean, I would have thought you would have said in tandem because it's like a two-pronged thing.
Either
way. Okay, interesting.
They work together. Those powers work together.
Yeah, no, I can get that. Like, it's like Hallowed Ground and Renewal. Like, if you're not using them together, if you're just using Renewal, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Same with Garuda, actually. If you're not using her... oh God, I can't remember her abilities. Like, you know...
Is it the one where she stabs an enemy on spikes?
Yeah.
For healing? For the big heals?
I think so. No, you basically no. It's you have to have the mod where if you take fatal damage, you lose your shields instead, right? And basically, what you're trying to do is keep your health low perpetually, so you're relying on your shields, not your healing. So not your health. Yeah. So like that's kind of how you play Garuda.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, right. So. Right, that's it for the second topic, I think.
Yeah, the topic.
Right, okay, cool. Moving on to... What are we moving? Graphs. Graphs. I've hidden the graphs away from me somewhere. Oh
no!
It's fine, I got them. Right, so we have 6 graphs. The last one's just a bit of like a, a taste of more than anything. So the first graph is, do you consider the experience of low MR players? 12% no, 88% lied. So, actually, to be fair, when I looked at this halfway through the week, it was 100% yes, and I'm like, someone's not telling the truth. Yeah. So yeah, no.
No, if that is true, I'm very proud of all of you.
Yep, as you should be. Right. The second question is, how do you feel about Xeno's handicap idea to play with low MR players? 19% negative, 38% said neutral, and 44% said positive.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
I do understand the negatives, but yeah, I'm glad that positive.
Yep. The next one was, have you taken more than 6 months away from Warframe? I was surprised at how balanced this was. 47% said no and 53% said yes.
Wow.
So,
breaks are healthy, I think. I mean,
I don't think I've taken that long away from it. But it still like fluctuates, Yeah. But the next one is, I guess it's also down to interpretation. Do you consider playing it like once a week, taking a break or not? But anyway. Next one is, do you feel there's too much to collect in Warframe? 41% said yes and 59% said no.
Wow.
That I'm surprised by. right?
Maybe it's like they don't think that you have. They feel like you don't have to collect everything, so there's not too much to collect. Maybe.
I suppose.
It's the only thing I can think of.
The next one was a bit of a personal question, which was how long should a $60 game last? 29% said 30 to 50 hours, another 29% said 10 to 30 hours, and 41% said more than 50 hours. Those don't add up. Yeah, there's a percent in there. But it's yeah. But still, it's like, you know, how long should a game last? And yeah, those are the numbers we have. But no one said less than 10 hours. No surprise of Xeno.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this was the conversation off the back of someone I know saying that, like, if a game can't be completed in less than 10 hours, I don't want to play it. I'm like, never play Elden Ring. And then the last question, number 6, is are you playing Elden Ring?
Wow.
80% said yes, 82% said no.
To be fair, you might want to wait another month or so for the bugs to get shaken out.
I mean, if that's gonna be what it takes, but you know, it's a good game, but you have to have the mental fortitude to play it.
You really do.
There's so many people I know that will not like deal with that at all. They're just be like, no, fucking hate it. Oh, it's fucking awful.
It's very much a Dark Souls game, so if you don't want to get good, you know, it's not the game for you.
Right, we need a quick pause.
Yes. Right as you're taking a drink. Oh my goodness, I'm the best.
How about you? All right. Okay, cool. So we're back. Right. Let's do the supporter questions. Did you hit the thing? Good man. Right. Okay. So Uncle Thalian says, at the start of supporter questions, it's time to remind everyone to drop down the comments, smash like, do a subscribe. Feel free to link the secret meme, have a think about joining the Discord, and pop Xeno's socks off by becoming a patron. We read every comment and even read some of them out for the next episode. Coming soon. Thalian also says, coming soon, DevStream 160. DE have claimed this will be the best DevStream possible. But what does that really mean? What could make this the best DevStream possible? Possible for what? Possible under the circumstances? Or does it mean that this will be the best DevStream possible as it's all downhill from here?
Oh my god.
Wow. Oh my god, I don't want to even...
I don't think that's the case. I think it's
a joke question, obviously, but...
Yeah, but at the same time, it is kind of weird that they said it's going to be the best dev stream possible. Like, shouldn't all of them be their best dev stream possible for whatever topic they're doing?
No, I mean, it's just like... It's just hype. It's just hype.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is just hype.
I feel that because hype is so prolific, it's become like advertisements have become so lazy, and it's just like, this is the best thing you've ever fucking had in your entire fucking life.
Yeah.
Nothing could ever be better. Not yesterday, not today, and certainly not tomorrow. I'm like, bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You're trying to make me buy into something. But I mean, if it was to be the best dev stream possible, the best thing that they could do is release the Angels of the Zariman the very same day. That would make it the best for me. I don't even care what.
I'd just be satisfied if they showed like lots of really good gameplay.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I would be satisfied, sure. But like, best would be they release it then and there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then Zrugel says, do you think Wally, the man in the wall, is the main / next big bad evil guy?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, if that's the direction that the community believes he'll be, that will be the direction it goes in.
I think they're going for more of a Tom Hiddleston Loki vibe with him, where he's kind of a good guy, but he's not really a good guy, and he's just kind of chaotic, you know.
No, I think the only reason why Tom Hiddleston, like, Loki has been a bad guy just through and through, right? Through all the comics, through every element of the Marvel literature, right?
Yeah.
But only the fact that everyone is just so romantically in love with Tom Hiddleston does, like, you know, this Loki has become like an anti-hero or a good bad guy or whatever you want to call it, right? But, you know, like, honestly, I think it's entirely dependent on the expectations of the community before we actually see what's going to happen.
We're not saying the community writes the story for GE. They may tailor their story to community expectations in some regard.
Oh god, yeah. I don't think it's. I think this is something that's like common everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Probably not so much in Japan, because I always feel that they try to subvert expectations. They always try to, like, you know, look at Nier Automata, look at Elden Ring, look at, you know, anything fucking. Yeah, they try so hard to subvert expectations, but when it comes to like the West, it's just like no, we have to make the most predictable thing ever. Yeah. Because otherwise people will feel stupid. I mean, the brilliant skit from Futurama about that, and it just makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Okay, so that is it for the supporter questions. It is time for the responses of last week, the community responses.
Right. So, JJ24 says, so this is in regards to me saying that you had to get the 4 parts from Sentience and not Samaras. Warhilt and Warblade were added to the Samaras offerings around update 30.3. It was undocumented in the patch notes, so there's no need to slap Sentience anymore for the components. Yet another thing they've taken away from the Sentience.
Yep.
Right. Zergle notes, Loz leaves for 2 episodes. Xeno, DE needs to coddle the player base.
Did I say this?
I think you kind of... I think we were talking about Molly coddling them. I don't remember what it was about, but I do remember we were talking about that. I assume Loz often, like, if that ever comes up, Loz is like, no. He doesn't need to coddle the player base.
I don't know, maybe.
Sorry, no?
Well, I was about to say, I think, like, Zrugel may be paraphrasing here, but I could totally get that I said this.
Trex Paddock, in response to Xeno's disbelief that last week, I did end up getting 2 Aya from bounties after 50-some hours of grinding them. If I recall correctly, one of the 2 I got was with Nazuth Thalps. I am good luck. I bring luck to everyone I'm with.
Lol.
And finally, from Cynical Nolock, when I see a low MR player, I do not automatically assume they are new to the game. I've seen plenty of vets replay the game in new accounts, so I just watch their movements for a bit, as that is usually the best way to tell new players from more experienced ones. If you see somebody like bullet jumping all over the place, probably not a new player.
Fair.
And that is it for the community responses. So I guess
time for the memes.
Really, the meat of the episode.
Yeah.
So meme number 1. Oh shit. Hang on. Let me make it bigger.
No, I got it. I could see it on the.
Well, I need to see it for myself. I'm blind.
Oh my god.
This would honestly explain a lot. And it's Samaras. More conflict. Yeah. Samaras is a cokehead. It confirmed. Meme number 2. Yep. My friend loves when I start talking about it. My friend, me mentioning Warframe. Yeah. Every Warframe player has a friend like
that. Yep.
Big iron on his hip. I just found out the police in my country arrested a Tenno. These guns, look at these weapons. I'm sure they're not real. I don't know if they're real or not, but man.
This post was deleted.
Was it? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I clicked on it and he goes, it's big iron on his hip. Yeah. I have seen this. Don't know.
Well, we get to see it here, preserved forever. Hello, insects. I haven't toggled caps lock for weeks. So we got cat designers and people who quote Counselor Vahak using uppercase almost universally. True. I love me some Vahak. He's delicious.
Oh yeah.
Teach me to sell without selling because buying things is like selling money. I am the dumbest man alive. Want to buy a Rubico Riven 10 Plat? Want to sell Titanium Prime Set 400 Plat? You're clearly dumber. Yeah. Some of the things you see in trade chat, man, it's oof.
Oh god, yeah.
And finally, look at them. They come to this place when they know they are not Kenobi. If your girl is the first main boss faced by the protagonist, has a cool weapon, was cut in half but survived through supernatural means, is insanely quotable and used in memes, that's not your girl. It's Darth Maul. Of course, referring to his reappearance in Clone Wars, which, oh my god, so good. And that is it for the memes. So, community shoutouts?
Yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, our community shoutouts. The first community shoutout is how it feels to visit Captain Vor at MR28. So this is a 4-panel comic. We've only got the first panel here. This is by Mushkin.
Oh, I knew it. I love that. I love Mushkin.
Yep. Yeah. Have you gone through all the panels?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're only looking at them on here. It's fine. Right. So the second community shout out is Harrow Prime by Lotus Shim 554.
That's a very cute chibi Harrow.
Yep. The third one is, the normal routine by Vex Kanaloa. And I'm just gonna read out the comic. So it's a 2-panel comic. Hey, I heard you impaled a guy with a machine gun and then shot 3 other people while it was still in the chest. Is that lies? Filthy lies. Good, because it was 4 people. Right. The next community shout out is Frosty Nova Prime's Warframe concept Iris by Debbie Sheen.
Oh, good old Debbie.
Yeah.
That's cute. Looks like a better ULE.
Yeah. The 5th community shout out, I believe this is a Solarian, just like a generic Solarian. I don't think this is Udico. I don't think this is Biz, or I think it's just a generic Solarian.
Maybe it's the one we no longer have that replayed the intro.
Maybe. By Nello.
So, nice.
All right. And then last but not least, Ember Blade of the Lotus by Beastbuster.
As an Ember lover, yes. 100% yes.
Yep, there you go. Right. That is it for the community shoutouts. It is time we sign out. It's time you hit the outro button. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this episode. My God, it was only an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose
I'm really good at keeping us on track, aren't I?
I believe. I imagine the second topic we just blitzed through. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. That's Nazareth's cat. Don't forget to check out the demo that we will eventually do on youtube.com/CanPlayCast, and we will see you all for next week. Bye.